Alright guys, so we are going to be installing these Scopema swivel seats. I got them from the swivel shop. They are very expensive. That was one thing I did not like about them, but as you can see here, they're for my transit van. They're about 400 bucks a pop. You can get them both for $800. I wish they were cheaper. I wish there was a better deal on it, but it is what it is. Here's this stuff if you care about that. The low profile, they're 7/8 of an inch or 23 millimeters. That's their biggest claim to fame, is how low profile they are, so they don't raise the seat height like other swivels might do. I went with these just because I like getting the best of shit, and the low profile was a big thing. I didn't want to change the ride height and mess with all that, so them being low profile more than any other swivel was a big selling point, even though they are expensive. But normally you buy more expensive products, you get better quality, so it's not always a bad thing. Shipping weight's 24 pounds. They did come individually. This feels around that weight by itself, so it's probably each one. And then if you don't like my installation video, you can always go to the website, and here's some installation videos right there. But we are gonna do mine, or I'm gonna make one for you. So what we have here, you get your two swivels, and then you get your hardware, right? And they're marked. One's the driver's side, one's the passenger side. I'm gonna make two videos. I'm just gonna do the passenger, then I'll go over to the driver. I like to use my electric cordless ratchet. It's one of my favorite tools. You can also use a hand ratchet. Then you're gonna need a 10 millimeter, a 13 millimeter, and a 7 millimeter, and an extension. Now these are what the 13 is for, right? The 10 is for the seats, and this I will show you right now is for your electrical connector under the seat. See? So you do that. Don't need this anymore. Then we go to our 10 and just pull. There's one there. There's that one there. And this is on my 2021 Ford Transit 250, by the way. But these are for 2013 to current, so you can go all the way back to a 2013 and use these. But we're gonna take those two bolts out. We're gonna slide this bad boy forward, and we're gonna get the back ones. Just like that. And then, now, in a more gentler way, but that's fine. So we'll put this over here, and we're gonna let that seat just fall out of the way. You can move that anywhere. It's only being held on by the seat belt. But yeah, so then I'm gonna put this here, and this is the front. Let's see, and then we're going to line it up with all these holes. There we go. It was a little tight on there at first. So we're gonna swivel it just a bit so that we can get to all these holes down here. And then you're gonna come over here to these and get you 4 of these. Now in the video, in the other installation video, or at least the ones I've been seeing, they have hex head bolts, and they use like a 5 millimeter Allen. I don't have that. They just gave me a bunch of these old 13 millimeter ones, so that's what we're using. I don't like that at all. This is kind of disappointing, honestly. So this does not line up as good as I think it should. It's kind of annoying. Seems any way that you spin it, one of them is just going to be way off. Which sucks. Let's see. I wonder if I could force it and not just totally screw up my bolt hole there. No, I don't think so. Man, that sucks. Oh wait, did I get it? I might have got it. No. I will not be returning it, even though I am upset that it doesn't fit. I was able to get the last bolt. I put all these in kind of hand tight. You can see that one's almost a little crooked, but it'll go in straight. None of them are stripped, but I was fortunately able to get this in there. I just lifted it up and kind of used the leverage of the bolt to bend whatever material. I'm sure the actual seat material bent it a little bit. Then when it was straight up and down, I just hit it with my ratchet, but it's not stripped. So even though I am disappointed that this does not fit perfectly, I've got it to work, so I am going to keep it. So we're going to move forward, but I'm not going to edit that out in case anyone else has that same problem. I want them to know how I got past it. Maybe they can, if they decide they want to, it's okay and they want to keep it, then they can just do what I did and kind of leverage the bolt so it fits in there, right? And you can kind of see as I'm tightening it down, you can see this material down here of the actual seat is pretty thin. You can see it kind of adjust and get pulled into the bolt. So I'm assuming that's how I got it to fit, is it just kind of moved that bottom seat. And as far as tightening goes, I just use the Guten Tight German spec. So just turn it till it needs some force, which it's already at, and then maybe like a little more, but these are already really tight. And this is 70 foot-pounds on that thing, so I just come back with a hand tool and make sure it's tight, and they're all very tight, so I don't need to go crazy with it. I don't need to do anything more. And now for the actual seat. Well, this thing doesn't go very easily, does it? So it's like that. You turn that. I might grease it a little bit. I think I will. Let's see, what does it connect to under here? So this is how it's going to sit with the seat on it. Spin nice little 180. And then it hits that stop there. You can see the device, the little mechanism under here. And I think I'm just going to spray some of that with some WD-40, because I would like it to go over here a little bit easier. Yeah, look how difficult that is. That should be, I definitely like that to be a lot easier. So we're gonna, yeah, you can hear all that squeaking too. Yeah, so we're gonna hit that with some WD-40, because that's a little bit, that's I say disappointingly tight, difficult to move. Brain isn't braining right now. I don't see any WD-40 right here, so I will have to go and grab some from the shop, but I'll just keep moving on with the video. But all I'm gonna do is take some WD-40 and spray it, clean it off with a rag, so it swivels easier than it's doing right now. Okay, so then now all we're gonna do is take the seat, put the seat back on, and screw it in right there. So we're gonna lift it up like so, bring it in like so. All right, do something like that. We're gonna come in over here, make sure not messing up this connector here, and it looks like we kind of are. There we go. not fitting situation. Let's find out. Let's look at the front. Push the seat all the way back. 'Gonna start putting some in and just get that out of the way. But we'll actually need 2 because we're gonna need something to hold on the bottom. So I'm gonna go and get a wrench as well. I'll tell you what though, this is not as easy as it looked. And then these, it looks like we don't reuse these, so I'm gonna keep them in a little bag I've got under here of extra parts for this thing. Like I've got, you know, some of this and the door stops and stuff like that. And then I've got extra things for all the walls there. I'll keep them in a little bag, so if I ever go to a new van or sell this one and I need to go back to these factory bolts, they'll be in a bag under there. Now, let's see. Now we've got that for the back. This can be thrown away, and let's go get a little 13 wrench real quick. Let's get our wrenches. Give us a 13 and we'll be set. Our 13, that is our 13. So now we can come over here, and we're not going to tighten it all the way. Just a little bit. We're not torquing it down at all because we still got to put the back ones on there. Okay, so it's on there pretty good. That's all we wanted. Now we'll pull this forward. We'll be able to do the back ones. Let's get this done right here. All right, so then we'll come to the back, do the same thing. But now that they're all in there, now we can hit it and yeah, see how that's still pretty difficult to lock that in there. I don't like it. Now we can torque all that down though, right? Alright, now we can put this guy back on there. Put the electrical connector just like so. Put that back on there. So as I'm looking at this, so if you want, the seat's going to come forward this way, right? So make sure this connector is behind this bar, because see how far it goes forward? You don't want to squish it, right? And it does have plenty of room to go all the way back. So now that we have done that, there we go. So there's our seat. You gotta swivel forward just a little bit, it looks like. But there we go. There's our swivel seat. Now, as for this, this came up for a baby seat, right? It came up like here. All you have to cut this, right? So hopefully you don't need to put any babies in the seat with the car seat or whatever. But yeah, just cut this any way you can. I used a grinder, which is probably the most inefficient way, but you can use a handsaw, you can use a grinder, any kind of cut, whatever your favorite cutting tool is. You just want to cut these off so that when the seat swivels, and then you're also, you know, when you swivel, you can obviously see you've got this, so you'll have to have it at a certain height. But the idea is so that these won't hit that. You have to cut it so they will stop there. And then another thing to be aware of is this right here, right? So let's see. I'm gonna get in the seat and see if there's anything we can do about that. So I'm in the seat now and I want to swivel. Let's see, I'm gonna go forward as much as I can. So that's, yeah, and that's what I saw in another video, is this right here will hit the door. Now, if you want to cut that, you can, but as it is right now, you're gonna scratch your door up with that. So you will have to open the door to swivel around. And what I'll probably do, I'll probably make another video of me cutting this and changing that up, because I do not like that. And I'm gonna do something about it if I can. I'm gonna see what I can do to cut it. Because let's see. What I'm interested in seeing is how far this seat actually comes back. Yeah, so it rides on this rail the whole way. So I think you could get away with cutting this just a little bit. I think you could cut that and it would probably be fine since it rides on the whole rail like that. So, but other than that, we're done. That's the passenger seat. Now we've got a little swivel, so. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is nice. This really opens it up. This is great. Yeah, this is really cool, really nice. All right, we are back, still doing these swivel installations, and we're moving on to the driver seats, and everything is mostly the same. There are some new things. We're going to be adding 3 new tools. We're going to get a drill, a step bit, and a box cutter, and I'm going to show you why when we get to it. And this is just a quarter to an 1 3/8 step drill bit, and we'll probably just be going like halfway. So doing the driver's seat now, and when I have it off, I'm gonna go ahead and spray the shit out of it with some silicone lube, because after I finished the passenger seat, I noticed it was still kind of stiff. And see how hard it is just to even push it back, and that has nothing to do with the swivel seats. That's just this thing, you know, being old, collecting dust and stuff. But while I have the seat off, I am gonna take that opportunity to spray the shit out of it and get it really nice and lubed up. And now we're gonna come over here. All right, so this is just like the passenger seat was. Just take all of these out with our tins, and we will not be reusing them. So you can do whatever you please with those. Like I said, I'm gonna hold on to them in case I ever go back to factory or sell it, or sell this van and want to move my seats, who knows. But I just keep them with a pile of my extra stuff. Like there is that. So back to this one, same little connector that was on that little 7mm connector, goes on like so, and then this will now come off, and we're gonna put it way behind us and get it back here like so. And like I said, while I have it here, this is a great time to spray all this stuff. Now I need, oh shit, I was supposed to get an 8 and I think I forgot. I need an 8 for this. So what the problem is if we were to put the seat on right here, since there is no opening, like in that one it's all open, little storage area, since that's not there, this cable is too thick, right? So we're gonna do a little modification to get it where we want it. And then speaking of that, go figure that I also forgot a marker. So we're gonna get a marker, and we're gonna get this, I believe is an 8. All right, so our marker. So marker is, we're just gonna mark, I wonder, I suppose right here. Yeah, let's just mark. We'll mark here, and then we'll see if that's where we want it to be. So we'll take this off, right? We'll put this over here, and then yeah, I think that is where we're gonna want that. So then we'll come over here, we're gonna take this piece off with our 8. It is in fact just 2 bolts, and that comes right off like so. I'm gonna get this sunflower seed. All right, and then let's see, we want to get this battery cover off. Let's see what that entails. Does it just pop off? It does. So, well, I think, there we go. So, pop that off, pop this off. I've actually never taken this off before, so I'm learning right now. Okay, so there we go. So there's that, right? And then there's our battery right there. So the only unfortunate thing is, because our battery's here in these Fords, that if you ever gotta change your battery, you're gonna have to take your swivel seat off to do it. But, you know, such is life. So the idea is this is now gonna come under here, just like that. And so I think what we'll do is bring it under here, like so. Yeah, and that's what we're gonna do, because we've got to get it, you know, over this so that'll close properly. Yeah, so that's exactly what we're gonna do with it, is we're going to run it like that. And then, so we're gonna hit this with our drill and our box cutter now. This mark that we made, take a box cutter and just tell you exactly where I drilled it to. But you of course don't have to be, just the idea is that this hole is big enough for that cable to run through. So it doesn't have to be perfect. But that's that. That's this is now done. We're done with that. And now we're gonna take our box cutter and since we ran it across under that way, we're gonna cut it just like this. Box cutter. So we've got that right. So we're gonna come back over here and finish this thing up. All right, now, so we cut that hole, so now this will feed through just like that. So see, that's, you just need the hole big enough for this, but go back, take this, put this back on. Yeah, perfect. There we go. That's done. Now we're gonna take our Scopema, but like I said, we're gonna take this chance to spray the shit out of it with some silicone. And I already did it with the passenger seat, but I did it after I installed it, which made it a lot harder. So we're definitely gonna get it right now when we got a good opportunity. So, sprayed the shit out of it. Now we can throw this back on there with that nice, neat hole we just made. And now, let's put this on here. And let's hope that it is not like the other one and does not fit. That would be disastrous. It actually seems like it is hitting, it's hitting that even. That's interesting. Yeah. Huh. Whatever. We'll be fine. Okay, so now I'm gonna come over here, take these. And now put this seat, put it on regular, and we're gonna hope that it's not like the passenger seat was, and it's hopefully just very nicely aligned, and we don't have to do anything crazy. Give this a couple swivels. Yeah, and that swivel is much easier than the passenger seat did. So I definitely would recommend doing what I just did, and then before you install it, take that silicone and spray all up in here, and spray this, you know, all these little connections there and there, and spray all that whole mechanism in there. And I think that will I think that'll help a lot. Okay, so now let's get the seat back on, and then we'll probably spray the seat and move it back and forth in its its little, I don't know, cradle there. Rail, yeah, and the little rail it's in. Alright, and we are running out of light, so hopefully, yeah, hopefully you can see what I'm doing still. I barely can. I'm gonna push that button, push this right here, and push these back by hand, just like so, so that I can get back here and install these. There we go. And just like that, we're done. Now, let's see what that is. Oh yeah, so I'm gonna come through and all these, I'm gonna grind all these down, because as you can see, it'll hit the trim unless you move it. But it looks like one good thing about the driver door, I don't know why the passenger is different, but as you can see, it looks like the driver, you could swivel with the door shut, which I'll verify first. I don't like that it's hitting this trim on those on all those bars, so I'm gonna, on all these little spikes, that's very annoying, so I'm gonna come and cut those on both seats to fix that. But other than that, like I said, we are done with that. Last thing I will do is make sure it's nice and siliconed one last time. Come in here. I'm gonna spray it all down the tracks. Like so. Oh, look at that. I actually went and forgot to install the electrical connector. So make sure you don't forget that like I did. Okay. But now I'm gonna give it one of these. Last thing, and then we will really be done, is that little electrical connector. We are actually finished now, and let's give it a shot. Let's see if you can, in fact, on the driver's side, swivel without opening the door. Oh, maybe not. Is that the same situation? Yeah, it looks like it might be the same situation. I probably could have pulled up further and tried, but who knows. But yeah, hey, just a little modification will fix that. I'm gonna cut the little things off there, and then it won't hit the trim piece. And I think I'll come back with a bandsaw I just bought, and I'll make another video and I'll cut these off, and that should fix both those problems. Make this a lot better. But yeah, pretty cool. I might need to invest in another armchair. Another chair would be here. Now that swivel's back, now I've got nothing there. This chair doesn't even have one. Might have to invest in that, but lots more room back here. This is nice, really opens it up, so pretty cool. And that'll be the end of that, and now it's just putting away the tools. So there's that. There's the Scopema swivel seats for 2013 to current, as of this year, 2024 Ford Transit. So peace. See you next time.